centering. So this is that pre-flight check that we want to go through. And then on the next exhalation, we sink down and we rise up and we begin our salute. We'll start with a few breaths across the top, rise and fall. So in most of the Tai Chi systems that I'm familiar with, and there's many of them out there, but the few that I'm familiar with, from talking to other practitioners and stuff like that, it seems like there's a few common things that we have. Keep going, man. What's the date coming in? There's a few common things, and notice I said system because everybody doesn't have a system, and I think that it's very important to have a system and also have a qualified guide, because having a system, it's like a step-by-step, although it may not be in a chronological order. There's a guide that takes you along a path that's been traveled, and it's been put to practice for hundreds, if not thousands of years, right? So I say that to say that the commonality that I've noticed is that the first step in Tai Chi is that we want to begin to develop the Tai Chi body, first of all. And that requires us developing what they call song, and that's dealing with relaxation, and there's different levels, and they say like 6, some say 5 or 6 different types of song, and we won't get into that, but the first one is our body has to be relaxed, and we have to sink the chi, right? Sinking the chi down to Dantian. So by sinking, we're able to, by relaxing, we're able to sink the chi. And then once the chi sinks, that means that it's going down, right? Next step is to mobilize the chi. And there's really no specific amount of time that it takes for any of these things to happen. And everybody develops at their own pace, right? It could take years for 1 and 2 to happen. And that's why I say we should have a qualified guide, because the student doesn't know where they are. They've never been down this road before. They don't know what's being developed. They really don't know because they haven't experienced it. They may hear about it, read about it, but you have to embody it, or you have to have walked that walk. So a lot of people encounter teachers who don't know, and hopefully that teacher is willing to point you in the right direction. If they don't know, they can tell you where to go. So that's fair. But anyway, I say that to explain that this class is focused on doing the first 2 steps, which is getting that Tai Chi body relaxed, sinking the Chi, and then also with our movement, we're working on mobilization of the Chi. So, and the tools that we use to do that is stillness. So we stand still sometime in these postures. That helps us to sink the Chi. And then we move and we make certain shapes that helps mobilize the chi. We're going to change this one up. We'll go down, make a circle, and breathe them back up. So in Tai Chi, at least our Tai Chi, and I'll say most of the traditional systems, there's no belt system in place, right? So it's usually broken down into like 3 primary levels of development, and sometimes you see it expressed as heaven, man, and earth, or sky, human, and earth, something of that sort. And the sky would be dealing with anything above our clavicle, so getting more into the mental aspects. And then below clavicle, we're moving down now towards the human. And then the earth is below the lower dantian. So they say we don't live on earth, we live in between heaven and earth. Some of the Taoist sayings. We don't live on earth, we live in between heaven and earth. So Pong Lu Ji An, ward off, roll back, press, push. Those are our 4 primary energies. And those 4 energies are called the 4 primary energies. Also known as the 4 square hands. Right? 4 square hands. Pong Lu Ji An. And then we have our 4 diagonal hands, which are dealing with our second session, right? So the first section is focused on ward off, roll back, press, push, and we have a split in there as well. But the primary energies, right? So you can kind of see how this 13 postures thing is put together. We have 4 and 4 for 8, and then we have our 5 steps. Forward, backwards, left, right, and center. Giving us 13 powers, 13 energies. I'm going to be making a video and some posts in regards to that. Kind of school us all a little more on that. Deepen our education. Deepen our awareness into why we're doing what we're doing. So from here we're going to go into inward and then outward. And go at your own pace. Remember, the movements are harmonized with our very own breathing rhythm. So not my breath, but your breath. And these movements that we've done so far, these are part of what we call the mother form. Basically meaning that all the other postures are somewhere in between these movements that we make. A combination of these movements. Because these movements cover the 8 directions. Giving birth to the other postures, such as Pong Lu Ji An. So, you know, a lot of people out there, they run around and they gather bits and pieces from different systems or different teachers or whatever, but they never follow a particular system. And they may gain some skill, but at the same time, I think that they're actually leaving a lot on the table. They end up developing what the Chinese would call chop suey. Well, chop suey is if you go to a Chinese restaurant, it's yesterday's leftovers, whatever they may be. So it's no particular dish, it's just a big mix-up. A lot of confusion in that meal, to say the least. So I don't want to develop any chop suey. You know, Tai Chi shapes are specific. They're not karate shapes or judo shapes or swaja shapes. Those systems have their shapes. Certain shapes build certain energy centers. And don't get me wrong, you know, I'm not saying that those systems aren't great, but make sure it is a system. And not just a bit and a piece from here to there, unless that's what you want, you know. I want you to come back in just as if you were going to go back up again. This time bring the hands straight up and then out into lion towards its mouth. And just relax for a bit. So this is releasing. Releasing the tension and stress and the idea that there's pain in our shoulders. We let that go. This is the opening. We want to open the body so that we can sink the chi. Now, while here in the lion's open mouth, we're going to inhale, and our crown point lifts our body. So don't lift your body by pushing off of the floor. So your crown point is pulling you up. And we extend out the fingertips. And then the tailbone pulls us down. We retract our arms just a bit. So that there's this buoyant, floating up and down type of feeling. So down makes us go up makes us go down. We go in between those two. A few more breaths. And now begin to retract, bringing the arms in, back towards your body. And this is sinking the chi down the torso. And then we're going to go all the way down into a drain off posture. So here the arms are kind of bent out. Elbows are down, a little space under your armpit. And imagine that any of that tension that you accumulated in your shoulders. So visualize that tension rolling off of your shoulders, off of your fingertips, like water dripping back onto the earth, back into the earth. And same breath here, same movement. Inhale, you start to float up, crown point pulling you up. And then exhale, tailbone, and bringing you down. And feel under your palms. And a little space in between your fingers. Relax your wrists. start scanning your body. Start at your feet, feel, releasing any tension that you may have. And move your toes a little bit. If your toes are stuck, that means you're stuck. Feel the freedom in your lower spine, freedom of your tailbone to move. If you feel any discomfort, make small micro adjustments. So don't make any big physical movements while here. So you can feel more of the subtle things that's taking place. Now we're going to take a breath in, crown point lifting us up, condensing the Tai Chi ball in towards our center, and then bringing the Tai Chi ball back up, in, from, down to in. Do a little preparation for it. Release, and gather. Let's transition this one, breathe all the way up, out to crown point, waterfall. Waterfall, keep working waterfall. split the waterfall. Go up and down the middle. We're going to turn this one into a Tai Chi ball. Doesn't matter what hand you have on top, turn towards that side. Start rotating it. Let's rotate the left and right. Tai Chi ball. Come back into your center. Let's compress the wall. And then expand. Just expansion and contraction. Let's split the ball forward, backwards. Something like that. point out, you imagine that energy coming down, shoulder, elbow, wrist, all the way up to infinity. And when it's almost gone, you draw it back in. Fingertips, pass through your fingers, through your hand, through your wrist, through your elbows, back in your shoulders. And it's going all the way back down. Whole kinetic chain. And then it's coming back out the other side. Feel as your hand pass your forearm or your inside of your forearm in. Feel as your palms pass each other. Just feeling, paying attention to the temperature of the air or wind or whatever it is you may feel or may not feel. Don't interpret it, just be there, be aware. You come back into the center, open the Tai Chi ball a little bit away from your body, so pat it out, away. Take the ball and turn it so that you have either hand on top. Fingertips are no longer pointing straight ahead, they're pointing off to the sides. You want to expand. Here we're going to twist, so the fingertips are now pointing towards camera. And then we're going to split forward and backwards, turning the palm up, dropping the Tai Chi ball down, coming up, gathering, repulse monkey. Big Tai Chi ball. Press, twist it. Split it, sink it, rise, coming back in with a big Tai Chi ball. And here I'm going to twist, my elbows moving, my elbows cause a twist. Now split. I'm going out infinitely through my fingertips. I'm pointing way out, but I'm not straightening my elbow. Also, when I go here, I'm extending into the earth with my fingertips, being aware of downward. I'm also being mindful that I'm not reaching behind myself. That's going to put stress all across my shoulder. I'm going off to the corner. Also remember, sinking down, body is sinking down. this is coming up, body is coming up. Just bring the taxi ball back into the center. And orientate it so that the hands are on the side of the ball. And then both palms go down, facing the floor. And then one goes up, while the other one goes down. Be mindful of the space under your armpit. Don't close that space off. Up and down, up and down. Body. Come back in and hold the ball again. I'm going to bounce the ball. As it rebounds, comes up, we're going to guide it over our shoulder. Pick up your opposite side foot. And then turn your waist. Follow back in. So lift with your legs. Guide it. So I'm lifting this foot up, lifting my heel, like I'm pushing my knee forward, and then I'm turning at the waist, and that causes my foot to pivot. So as this is going up, that heel is coming off of the floor. Turn at the waist, pivot. Hey, bring it back in center. Take a big breath across the top. Take 2 more breaths like that. Nice big breaths over the top, rise and fall. Follow the ball down, make a circle, condense, bring the ball back into the lower dantian, drift over left foot, pivot on the ball of your right foot, step to your heel, drift, right side, step with the left, straight, sink down the left Tai Chi ball, bring it up like hands attaching. Follow with the other one right behind, long and short hand, both palms down. Front left corner I'm pointing towards. Now I'm turning my waist back to my left rear corner. Here's where the arms begin to go down. I'm sinking down. Turning my core, rising, front right corner. Turning my core back towards the rear right. Sinking. So this is long and short hand. Keep working the long and short hand. Keep working that, family. Keep going.